The following program is an LTX Enterprises production. The Falls Count Everywhere podcast would like to mention our friends at the following. The Searcher and Hide podcast, for mind-intriguing discussions about wrestling, movies, Bigfoot, aliens, and everything in between. Then look no further than the Searcher and Hide podcast. You can find the Searcher and Hide podcast on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many other platforms. Go check them out today. And Outside the Ring STL, join Shaft and General Vader along with others who share their love for professional wrestling as they talk about the recent shows from the major wrestling companies, all independent promotions from around the St. Louis area, and even talk about great moments in St. Louis professional wrestling history. Find them on Facebook at Outside the Ring STL. Get ready for episode number 42 of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast, where we welcome nationally accredited midget wrestling superstar, the immigration sensation, Mad Mexx. This podcast is scheduled for one episode, where falls count everywhere. We thank all of you joining us for tonight's episode of the Falls Count Everywhere podcast. Before we get underway, we pay honor, tribute, and respect to the greatest nation in the world as we play our national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, for that ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets roaring glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
right. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It is your Thursday night ritual here on Facebook Live. We're also on YouTube. We're also on Twitch. It is the Falls Count Everywhere podcast here. I am one of your hosts, Rough Cut Rick Ribby. Of course, on the other side, hopefully on the other side, well, hey.
You're supposed to do the Zoom in first,
Yeah, I know. Well, the thing is, I removed your stream. So, that's me being an amateur. It is Mr. GQ Matthew Wayne Schuyler III. Comfy in his own home abode in Hollywood, wherever.
home office. Yeah.
We'll just say Hollywood, wherever that is. But hey,
it ain't Hollywood, Pennsylvania, dipshit. Speaking of which, I mean, notice we have, which tells us what happened this past weekend.
Yeah, that's right. I also meant to kind of put something on that as well. I guess the cat's out of the bag on that with IEW, huh?
Yep.
It's definitely not me. That's for sure. Let's see if we kind of put this announcement up here as well. I don't know.
You do that one real quick, and then I'm look for the IEW one.
Well, I had it. The thing is, I did have it.
You sure?
I do have it for sure. It's just I clicked on the wrong photo. And, just my luck. There you go.
You think? You need to show the champ the respect he deserves to begin with. There you go.
Calling me a dipshit is not respectful, by the way, guys. So
he could have been a lot more meaner. You know that.
I know, but it is.
After all, he did beat you in the little mad leprechaun and the old man. So
yeah. So in case you all don't know, from this past weekend, there he is, the new IEW and inaugural heavyweight champion, we should say, Playboy Double H of Illinois Elite Wrestling. And yeah, so in the Fatal 4-Way, which, by the way, I wasn't the one pinned, so I'm not worried about it. I was too busy taking care of business with Hulk Elliott, so, it is what it is. So, yeah.
Did you lose another belt? Because apparently you don't have the other one up there either.
Oh, I got the spring cleaning and I forgot to take it down. Oh, I forgot to put it back up. No, trust me. The next WPW show will be on August 1st, and that is actually the Pimpin' Al Blundy tribute show for, in WPW. So that is still happening here. But yeah, let's talk about some other things here that are, well, if I can find them here, which
you are freezing a tiny bit. While you're doing that, I'm watching you.
Yeah, I know.
This is why I just put it in an overlay and you don't have to lock up.
Yeah, but see, that's the whole thing. StreamYard, I'm paying you good money each month to not have any glitching products here. You're about as bad as getting about as bad as some other company. First name block, last name talk.
And they said first ever champ. Playboy's saying that right now. First ever champ, but there's nobody better than him right now. So probably going to be the champ for a long while.
Yeah, probably so. And he's got he's definitely got he'll have his challenges here because they will have to be facing against PT Beckham here, in due time. So
TP Beckham.
TP Beckham, is that what you said?
His gear needs to be made out of toilet paper because he's all full of crap.
Oh my gosh.
And that's how you do that promo without making so many bloopers on that. So
yeah, right. All right. I'll tell you, my mouse is just jumping all over the place. So pardon me, guys, that I'm trying to.
We're trying to get there, everybody.
Yeah, we'll get there.
But we also did have, as I see you're getting that queued up a little bit, we did have a passing as announced today, which was Dell Wilkes, the Patriot. And it's just, it's sad, and so many are passing this year, which is scary.
Yeah, I know. It's almost like we thought 2020 was bad enough. 2021 is starting to become even worse and trying to excuse the phrase Trump, whatever it had. But yeah, but Del
Oh,
Wilkes.
that was low. No
Yeah,
political stuff on this show. Come on, dude.
yeah. Well, it is. So Del Wilkes did pass away at some point this afternoon. Apparently from a heart attack. He was 59 years old. So yeah, it's definitely something there. And trust me, these guys. I mean, they go through a lot with their bodies, and it's it's tough. I mean, I like the Patriot. I mean, he was actually he did a lot of work for Vern Gagne in AWA before he came on
Hmm.
with a short stint with Vince in the then WWF. But then, of course, he had some independent bookings too. He actually had a virtual Facebook Live signing not that long ago. I think like a few months ago, and and I'm sure he had like some others as well. And trust me, if you've got some of that merchandise, that'll be a collector's road.
Oh, yeah, well, I mean,
You know, it'll be worth something down the road.
yeah.
So yeah. So condolences to
But
the Wilkes
my
family.
thing though is, if you're a fan of him while he's alive, okay. But if you want to get the stuff after he's passed, and you're not really a fan, if you didn't get it beforehand, in my opinion, that's always been like that to me. So
Yeah, very true, very true. But it's I mean, it's a shame, and I guess more details to come. I mean, I'm sure probably his funeral and his arrangements will already have probably have been passed by this time next week. But but yeah, but definitely our thoughts go out to the Wilkes family, and hopefully they'll it's always tough when you lose a loved one. So
and I will say, I know we were having a scare a little bit earlier this week, I think it was, or at least before the weekend, with the Michael Elgin apparently being missing.
oh yeah, yeah,
And he was found, and he's home safe and everything though too. It was just a scary thing that nobody knew where the heck he was. And I know he deals with depression. I know he is no longer with the lady superstar. I'll leave her name out of it right now.
yeah,
And I know they're no longer together, so probably um, that's the issue. I think for some of his depression with a lot of it though too, plus just everything in general. I mean, yeah, he has people and friends checking in on him a lot, so which is great to have.
yeah. I mean, when we get up, when we get up there, I mean, we've been around. I mean, and even if so, even while you're still in the biz, even if you're in there for like a like few years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever, you develop friendships over time, and you want to make sure that you're checking on your people in the business. That's for sure. And it's just very hard to when people do pass away. I mean, apparently, as we're finding out here within this past year, um, even on the local scene with us, so it's definitely very, very, very tough. So, but I'm getting set here, and we're going to be rolling here with our getting ready to bring our guest on here on for the evening, and we're going to have we're definitely going to have some good times here tonight for sure. With that,
I'm stoked.
oh yeah, me too. I mean, we got a big month coming up. We'll go over that here toward the end of our show, but we've got some definitely guests lined up here. At least for the next couple weeks, I am actually working on a large one, or at least for multi guests, maybe
You can't
possibly
really be a
more.
guest on your own show, Ruby. You know that, right?
You're an idiot. You're a
Like you
freaking
said,
idiot.
large. I mean, large. You might want to close down your other stream though too. Take that off of there, because I saw you freeze again for a second. I don't know if it's me or you, so we'll figure it out that way.
Oh yeah, we'll figure it out. Well, I'll just stop the screen. There we
Yeah.
go. If I stop the screen, and for earlier,
Douchebag.
that's what you get. Thank you very much with the big comment. Kiss my ass. There you
Pick
go.
a time zone and pick a zip code.
Okay, and now that gets a trifecta.
Douchebag.
There you go. How
And,
you
and you're about to kill our guest in the back because I'm watching him just laughing at that. So
Oh yes. We've got a number of them here for you. We've got a number of them. We're just gonna have a good time, and like I said, July 22nd is gonna be a multi-person forum, hopefully. And then guess what? The last week of July, I'm gonna be out of town. So if you run a
where
show,
are you going to be?
I am actually taking a very short vacation to Gatlinburg in the Smoky Mountains before my big momentous occasion for me on July 31st that will happen. So, uh, so I'm going to have a
Is
nice
that when you get your AARP card? Or
yeah,
oh, that's the Hall of Fame. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
You know my stuff's funny when the guest is still laughing at it. So
I think I broke up my very special drink at the right time of the day. And I thought bad enough. Oh my god, I got to deal with your ass. Anyway, yeah. We are moving on. On. Yes, we are for sure.
I thought we were trying to bring him on a little bit ago. You keep.
I know. But no further ado, our featured guest this evening has had the passion for professional wrestling captivate him at a very young age. Though he faced many obstacles toward conquering his dream, he pursued training for the business in 1989 and showed everyone why he belonged inside a wrestling ring for years to come. Tonight, he shares his experiences and most notable stories that stood out in his 30 years of competition. Ladies and gents of the Falls Count Everywhere
The following
Nation.
program is an LTX
And that is not me.
Enterprises
That is me
production.
talking again. Sorry. Here we go, ladies. Jesus. Ladies and gentlemen of the Falls Count Everywhere Nation, make some noise. Here we go for the immigration sensation, Mad Mexx. All right. We'll get through it. I'll watch Facebook with me on that one. Mexx, what's going on, man?
What's happening, amigos? What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's going on, man?
Really good to hear from you.
Finally.
For those that don't know, Ruby messed up everything this week. We're just going to leave it at that. That's it.
No, it's on me this time, bro. Seriously. I am so computer illiterate. It's scary. I just barely know how to turn them on.
Hey, but
I barely know how to turn things off. I mean, so.
Oh my goodness. We can think of some ways, man. But
Shut up.
Good to see you. And GQ wanted to play for this for you earlier instead of saying hi.
And would you? No. No.
It was a certain guy on a stick, so.
That's my cousin.
Oh my gosh. Ooh, my goodness. Man, so what is it like for an everyday right now for Mad Mexx? Every day right now currently.
Oh my gosh. After 30 years in the business, you know, it is so rough on me in the mornings. I mean, I even have to have my wife get me up in the mornings. It has to help me out of bed.
Oh,
Sometimes even has to help me get dressed.
Oh, man. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's, there are a lot of things.
Hey, there's something we got to look forward to in 5 more years, Ruby.
Oh, well, if I make 5 years, my God. I mean, that's my timeline right now is probably, that's about how many I have, maybe shorter than that, but we'll see. It depends how my body holds out in all this, but.
And how we've always, all of us, explain, like, while it's only 20, 30 years, it ages your body another 80 during that whole process because of the bumps, the bruises, and the BS. the BS is really what ages you a lot too. So
Definitely, most definitely.
Yep. So with all the BS and what little work GQ does, he's got about 20 more years. So. Oh my gosh, where's my rib
find
shot?
a knife and I'm going to fly to you and stab you.
Don't say that too loud on Facebook. We might get banned. So, oh my god, man. So kicking off here for you, Max. I mean, we shared a lot of things here. Obviously with us trying to get through our technical glitches here and coming
Yeah.
to a finally hitting the point we finally made it, and we just got to talking to about a lot of things. But tell us your story on how you started your love for professional wrestling, and when did you know? After you
Oh.
tell that story, when did you know deep down that that professional wrestling is what you really wanted to do?
Well, as far as I can remember, I was 4 years old, and my dad was taking me and my older brother to Memorial Hall in Kansas City, Kansas, where I'm originally from. And back then it was Central States Championship Wrestling, NWA Midwest, and I would go and watch it. And once I seen those guys go through those curtains, and I see the crowd response, and then I seen what they were capable of doing in the ring, I looked at my father and I said, I'm going to do that. My dad pat me on the back and said, then go for it, son. Don't stop until you get there. And at 5 years old, when I started school, same thing, my attitude, you know, you know, don't, I'll, Mexx never dies. Mexx will never die. And I've been told, no, you can't do this, you can't do that. You're too small, you're going to get hurt. And I'm the kind of guy that says, you know what? I'm going to prove your ass wrong. And I go out and do it. And started school, and one night I came home with homework on Thursday nights, and my father, we're getting ready to go, and my father's like, you got homework? I'm like, yes, sir. He goes, well, it's a school night, so you're staying home, and you're doing your work. And me and your brother are going to the wrestling matches. I'm like, oh, man, I cried for an hour. I know for a fact an hour. And so I'm like, okay, I got to do something about this. So I went to school. I went and told my teachers on Thursdays, I would like to know what the assignments for homework will be. And on recess, I'm going to stay in and I'm going to do those assignments. So therefore, when I get home, I'll get home, do my chores, be ready for, for wrestling that night. And I only missed wrestling one time. And that was the night I had to stay home because I had to do my homework. Other than that, every Thursday I was ready to go, bro.
Oh man, yeah, Thursday night.
It's true dedication as a fan for that, definitely.
At a very young age too, man. I never would have thought of that, honestly. And of course, I didn't really get exposed, or at least go to my first local indie show until like I was like 10. So, but either way, I mean, when you get something, you take advantage of that, and staying in from recess at a young age, that takes a lot too, because back in the day, going out to recess was the thing to do. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
When they
that's
still
a
had
fun,
it.
yeah. Instead of anybody wants to pick up like a phone or a tablet to entertain themselves. So yeah, things do change, man. Uh,
Definitely.
so
Most definitely.
yeah, so I mean that's awesome, man. And seeing a lot of the guys that come through the Kansas City area, especially with Bob Geigel, you had a lot of superstars that
Yeah, I met Bob Geigel, Pat O'Connor, Rufus R. Jones, uh, Bulldog Bob Brown, Akio Sato, Omar Atlas, Big Red Candy, Ernie the Cat Lad, Cowboy what's his name? Farmer Lane, I believe it was. Andre the Giant, King Kong Bruiser Brody, Kamala the Uganda Giant. Oh, I can go on and on and on, man.
Oh yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, these are names that are definitely stand the test of time today when you're looking at classics.
Oh yeah.
Most
Those who,
definitely.
those who have built around the industry. These are the guys that you want to you know you want to go to as far as like what they have done in the business
Right.
and what they can do in the ring.
Now, and if I say those names now to this new generation, it's who? What do you do? Who was that?
Yeah,
You know, I'm like, oh, God.
yeah. You entertain them with three words: read a book. you know, do your research. Oh, and do your research. That's
Hmm.
another thing. Do your research if you really want to get into this business. I mean, yeah. Unlike a certain major corporation releasing the all-time greatest tag teams to date, and apparently the New Day is on top of the list, which I'm not
Yeah.
even going to entertain that thought. But you know,
Well, look at that. To add to that, they've been together as a team for longer than most indie teams currently in the business right now.
right?
I'm not talking about the older school ones that are still teaming to this day, but I think they earned that.
Yep. But that's true. But I mean, I'd still say, I mean, there's a there. I mean, that's an argument for another day,
Yeah.
because I could sit here with with drinks in hand, and talking about what teams are much better than the New Day. But other than that, I mean, not to discredit them, but come on,
Right.
I mean, it's crazy. So anyway, Mex. So after developing, you're going to these shows, and you get old enough now to take an attempt of trying to get into this business. So
Right.
so can you elaborate on your journey on on your on getting into wrestling training and who taught you your ring basics?
Well, in Kansas City, there is a kid roast wrestling program, collegiate wrestling, and I was like, I got to get into it. So I go, and I'm like, Ray, man, I'm ready to go. And I look, there's no ring. You know, I'm like, where's the ring? Where's the, you know, and they're like, no, you got to start this way, from the ground up, collegiate wrestling. It's all mat wrestling. I'm like, well, I guess I got to start somewhere. So I started doing that. And I was a Kansas State kids champion years ago in the late 70s, and everything. And I wrestled in that group until I was 16. And then I went on to junior high school, did the same thing there. I was a varsity captain for the wrestling team. Then from there, I went to the high school level. I was a 4-year varsity captain. I wrestled for the high school varsity team 4 years. And I was a senior at 4'7" at 70 pounds.
Mm.
And the lightest weight was 98. And after I got out of there, I went to Oklahoma State University. I went on as a walk-on and got got accepted and got injured. Mind you, back then the college weight was 120 pounds, and I was barely weighing, I think, 90 at that time. And I'm like, well, what else can I do? And I've always wanted to be in wrestling, always.
Yeah.
Tell you how bad I was passionate about it and everything. I had some issues at school, so I dropped out. But I still went to wrestling practices. And I got done, went back home, and didn't go to school. Went the next day, went wrestling practice and all for a week. I did this, and they called my mom, and they're like, "Your son's, is he all right?" And my mom's like, "Well, yeah, why?" And well, his attendance is, he hasn't been here for a week. And then my mom, Miguel Antonio Santoyo. I'm like, oh crap, I'm busted.
Yeah.
But she didn't have to do nothing. She didn't hit me or nothing. She just called all three of my older brothers. Yeah,
That's even worse.
definitely. And then the next Monday came for schooling. I had all three of my brothers take me to school.
Oh,
Made sure I was there. And I knew better never to drop out of school again.
oh my gosh. Wow.
He knew better as soon as she did all the full name and everything.
Oh, and then with that Latina heat woman, oh my gosh. That's one thing I learned quick. You don't piss off a Latina woman, especially your mama. Even though I stood a head taller than her.
Yeah.
She can still whip your ass, and you know that.
Oh, bro, I not shit you. Talk about old school. Like I said, my mom hit me right in my chest right here, and I went to go see her. And this is when I'm 25, 25 years old, and my mom said something to me, and I'm like, yeah, right, mom. Took off her glasses. What? Give me your belt. What? And she told me in Spanish, if I got to take that belt off you, boy, it's going to get 100 times worse. So at age 25, I had to take my own belt off my waist, hand it to the woman that gave birth to me. I had to lean over the couch, and she whipped the hell out of my ass. Well, I know now never to disrespect my mama. Or, that's old school. That's the way I was always brought up.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to say, there's many shades of old school when it, I guess, comes to the Latina style.
Oh, my
Your
God.
brothers, your mom. Oh, my gosh.
I looked at her. She goes, boy, don't you look at me like you know me. I'm like, oh, God. Oh, God. Okay, Mom, sorry. Time out.
Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
that's the type of woman that will walk through a dark alley, see all these gangs. She'll say one thing like, boy, don't you try me. And they're like, yes, ma'am, sorry. Got them all scared.
She wouldn't even have to say nothing. She just looked at them. And she could walk on water, man.
Part quicker than Moses part in the Red Sea.
Oh, definitely. Most definitely, man. But after I got injured at OSU, I came back to Kansas City, and I got a call for a wrestling school to train wrestlers, collegiate wrestling from 5 years old to 16. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. What can I ask what the name of the group is? And they said, yeah, it's Turner Kids Wrestling. And I went, oh my God. And I'm like, well, what's going on? You okay? I'm like, you're not going to believe this. I said, that's the same wrestling team that I started out at 5 years old. And they're like, well, we see your credentials. We're going to make you captain. We're going to make you the head coach. So I took took on that job. I worked at that job. I didn't get paid because it was my passion. You know, I loved it. And at the end of the month, you know, the season was a state tournament, and I took 25 of my boys to the state championships, and I brought home 18 state championship titles.
Wow.
And you know, like I said, I'm 4'9", and I would get on the mat with these kids, and I would, you know, let them take me down, shoot on me, you know, fireman's carry, whatever. And I mean, after that, oh, I don't know how many years I did that, but I said, well, I'm done. And then I'm looking through the paper, Thrifty Nichols, and I seen this, something caught my eye, and I seen this ad in big bold letters. Do you think you're tough enough to be a pro wrestler? So I'm like, sure, you know. So I got on there and I called the number, and they called me back, and they're like, "We'd love to have you come out." And I'm like, "Well, that's cool." I said, "But be honest with you, I don't think you're ever going to have anybody my size for me to work." They're like, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, I'm a midget." They're like, "No way!" I'm like, "Yeah, you know, I'm 4'9". I weighed 95 pounds at that time, and they're like, "Well, we'll come check you out. Come on down." So I went down, and they're like, "Dude, you already got the look." Because I had the mullet. You know, being Latino, I had the mullet, the hair down to my back, down to my waist. And if I wasn't in my house or at a friend's house or something, I was at the school gym working out, hitting the weights. Like I said, I was 4'9", and I was bench pressing 225 free weight, and I was only weighing 95 pounds.
Dang, that's impressive.
And I mean, after that, I was training. Do you remember Andy Kaufman and Jerry Lawler?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the assassins that were part of that. Well, the assassin was one of the guys that trained me.
Wow. Okay.
And
awesome.
Thing is, he was so big and so, you know, I couldn't really do anything with him. So, and he really, you know, me being so small, he was afraid to, you know, he was going to hurt me and all. So somebody was watching out for me because he bumped into Little Tokyo. And he told him, he goes, "Hey, I got a little guy here that I think he's got potential. And, you know, let's check him out and all." So I started getting trained by Little Tokyo. And very bad English. Very bad English. Yeah. Mexx. Yeah. Miyagi say, "Run rope." Run the ropes? Hey. So I ran the ropes. Good. Mexx. Yeah, Miyagi. Miyagi say, "Run rope, take bump." Run the ropes and then take a bump? Hey. Boom, I take the bump. Good, Mexx. You run rope, you take bump, you no take bump. Same. Then he walked off. I'm like, what? But
first of all, I'm picturing Pat Morita actually saying this while he's while he's doing it. It's like, wait a minute, now that's not what I'm supposed to be doing.
I'm standing in the ring. I'm like, and he gets through the ropes and he goes to sit down. I'm like, okay. So, you know, I did that. And then I'm like, well, you know, I guess I pretty much achieved all my goals. And then in 92, I got an invitation to try out for the 1992 Olympic wrestling team.
Oh, wow.
And I went and I ended up being like the third or fourth wrestler in the Olympic team at 105. Still weighing 95 pounds.
Dang.
And I ain't gonna lie, I got my ass handed to me. I mean, those guys are like out of the penitentiary, dude. I mean, they come out and they're ready to kill. And I went out there, I asked, I went up against a Marine. He got behind me, back to belly suplex, and I hit the back of my head and the top of my shoulders, and I was pinned.
Oh, man.
I was like, all right. So, next one I went against was I think they said he was a junior Olympic judo champion. I'm like, all right.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, like, okay, I'm not gonna let this guy get behind me. That's my goal. Keep him in front of you. So we're working, trying to get inside control, and all of a sudden, both my arms, and he hooked on to him and looked right at my face. Goes, "Aye!" So I went belly to belly suplex, up and over. I got up. Oh my God! The ref's like, "You okay?" I said, "Am I done?" He goes, "Have you lost twice?" I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "I'm sorry, son, but you're done." I said, "Good, because I'm going back home to mama." I had no business whatsoever out there, I tell him. But, I went back doing the pro wrestling, and in '89, I got in there, and there were like 25 of us. Mind you, I'm 4'9". He had a Missouri bodybuilder champion that was in there. He had a former Golden Glove boxer, an MMA amateur fighter, a judo champion, on and on and on. Minor league football players, and guys that came out of the Marine Corps, out of the boot camp and all this and that. And I'm looking at their bellies, and I'm standing there and I'm in line, and it's like, so I'm standing there, I'm looking around, and I'm like, what the hell did I get myself into? And we did our things, and the promoter goes, all right, we're going to take a lunch at 11:30. I want you back here by 12:30, and then in 30 minutes we're going to be doing stretching, and we're going to come back in from that, and we're going to start all over what we did. And I'm like, okay, so go to lunch, come back, stretching out. I noticed there wasn't that many guys. So the promoter gets on the phone and calls them, and they're like, you know what? Forget you. I went in the Marine Corps. I'm in the, did boot camp. Boot camp was a piece of cake compared to what you guys are doing. He goes, you guys can keep my deposit. I don't care. I ain't going to get the hell beat out of me like that ever again. He goes, man, even cops beat, the guy's like, I got beaten up by cops, and I'll tell you right now, those cops don't have nothing on you guys. He goes,
the question I was going to ask was, were you the last man standing after that? And as soon as you were explaining it, it's like I immediately saw it because we've all seen this many times.
I'm standing there, I'm like, what is wrong with me? I'm still here. You
had the drive, you had the passion, it was in your blood already.
And and each week, 1 to 2, if not 3 guys will forget you. I'm out of here. I'm like, really? And the promoter's like, congratulations, Mexx. You're my first graduate. I'm like, what?
You're only graduate.
I'm looking around. There's only me and this other guy that made it through it. Out of 25 of us. And I'm talking, like I said, 4'9". At that time, I was probably 85, 95 pounds maybe. And guys are quitting like 6'8", 375 pounds. These guys are quitting. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me? You know? And like I said, you know, after that, and when I got initiated, whew, I got home. I got home.
What was your initiation there?
I had to stand in the corner, arms over the top rope.
I hear it.
No shirt. Water on the hand.
Oh, he got it worse.
Yeah.
Water.
They didn't even do the water on the hand over here.
Water on the hand, every one of them. And those were the guys that were already in the business, and that was another 25 guys.
Oh, my God.
So who was the other one in your class that made it?
He was from Nebraska, and he ended up accidentally passing away in a car wreck. He was accidentally in a car wreck, and it took his life. And, I mean, he probably lasted as long as I did, you know, graduating, but I think like 2 months later, he was in a car wreck and passed.
Holy crap! That's
and
yeah. I can tell you now with those big guys, they couldn't pass 6'8", 375. You get a fat man running drills, they're going to quit.
Oh yeah.
You know.
And I mean, when I got initiated, I got home. My first wife was ready to call the cops because she thought I got jumped.
And your mama was about ready to go beat somebody's ass.
Oh, my mom was already taking off her earrings, ready to go. You know, Michael, why you do that? Why you let them do that to you? I'm like, Mom, I had to. You loco. You know do that. You know I'll do that to you. Like, no, Mom.
No, Mom, that hurts worse.
I'm like, no. But, yeah, I mean, I had bruises on my chest and my back because they chopped me in the front and in the back.
Oh, damn.
And I had bruises on me for, I think, maybe 2 months. They were leaving the M on me.
Wow.
And that's how he got the idea for his name, man. You know.
No, the reason why I got the nickname, I earned it. My cousin, when I was 16, spit on my car and stood in front of my car, so I power braked it to 30 and I hit him, broke his leg.
Oh, wow.
My cousin. Why'd you do that? I said, well, I'd get in trouble if I shot him.
So manslaughter's okay, but
yeah. I broke his leg, but he's still alive. You know.
Oh my gosh.
And that's where this badass photo came from.
Oh man. Oh wow.
Yeah, everybody sees that picture. They're like, "Is that you?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "You look taller." I'm like, "What?"
You look younger. Hold on, let me bring him back up for a second. This was before the business started kicking all of our asses and everything. Yeah. We all looked good back when we first started.
This was like about, I think 5 to 10 years in the business.
Yeah.
And my third wife's the one that did that one, took that picture for me. She's the one that made me, take your shirt off. I'm like, okay. She goes, get on your leather jacket. Put it on. She goes, here, put these shades on. I'm like, okay. And she pulled my pants down a little bit, showed my Joe boxers, and she's like, okay. Snap. She goes, what do you think? I'm like, I like it.
Dang,
But,
man.
I mean, after I got in the business, you know, everybody thinks it's all glamour, lights, and everything. Well, I was talking to Dave, and I told him, man, first 8 years, did the show. I had to break the ring down, put it on the trailer, take it to the venue, put it up the trailer, put it up at the venue, work on my match, then go back, come out, do the show, got done, take the ring, break it down, put it back on the trailer, and take it back to our gym, take it off the trailer, and put it up so we can go straight to the workout the next morning or the next day.
This sounds awfully familiar, and this just like in the last couple of months there too. So
Yeah, yeah.
And what we get? A hot dog,
and a handshake.
a hot dog, a pop, and a bag of chips. And a bonus was a bag of popcorn.
Oh,
And a pat on the back saying, good job.
wait a minute, you got a soda, chips, and a handshake. Wow.
Hot dog and popcorn. Popcorn was the bonus.
Yeah.
They didn't sell out of it. Yeah.
Unfortunately, you didn't say that was probably scraped off the floor, put into a bag, and given to the boy. I can guarantee all three of us know somebody that would have done that.
Mm-hmm.
So nuts, man. Shoot. Oh gosh, we definitely got some more things to ask you here.
Sure.
I think it's not my turn on the next one though.
Because you already got your 1 to 2 questions already answered, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, did you always wrestle midgets in your matches?
No. I was supposed to do a show, and this midget didn't show up. And the promoter's pissed. They're like, I put you, on Metro Sports and all this and that, and newspapers and everything, and about you coming out and doing this show, wrestling and all this and that. And that SOB never showed up. And I said, well, Pop, I was so close with this guy, the promoter, that I was calling him Pops. And I was like, Pop, you say I'm good. He goes, well, you are. You're better than my own kids. And that's hard for me to say. I'm like, well, I said, Pop, if you say I'm good, put me up against anybody. He goes, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. He goes, all right, I'll be back. 30 minutes later, he comes back. He goes, you're in the triple threat. I said, okay. He goes, I'll let you know when you're up. I said, all right. You're up. So I get up. My music plays. I burst through the curtains, and I'm standing there, and I see a guy, 6'11". I'm like, I'm dead. This guy is 6'11", I think 400 pounds.
Oh.
And the other guy is 6'8", 380.
God dang.
And here I was 4'9" and 98 pounds. And they just threw me around like a 2-pound sack of potatoes. Not 5, 2 pounds.
What, they tried to double suplex?
Oh man. I jumped off the ropes to get him a hurricanrana. He just caught me. He was like, don't.
Right.
I know, and he's I don't know what's the deal, but every time I get slammed, it seems like I fart. This guy power bombed me, and I roll over like, oh my god.
No, he was knocking the shit out of you is what it was.
I thought I did shit myself one time. I scared the hell out of me. And these guys were from Rolla, Missouri, and they told me, they're like, we go in the back. They're like, Mexx, we gotta have your name, your number, your info, brother. We gotta have you come out with us. Like, are you sure? And they're like, dude, we had so much fun. I'm like, I bet you did.
Who were they? Do you remember?
Showtime Sugar Shane or something like that.
Showtime Shane Summers.
Yeah, him.
We know him. We know him.
And
after all.
GQ.
GQ Smooth.
I think it was him.
Not me. I know it's not me. It wasn't me. 'Cause I'm not 6 foot anything. So
I mean, these guys, they're like, dude, we gotta have you. I'm like, oh man, okay. So I gave my number and all. And I guess after that they lost it because he couldn't find me. And like I said,
Sounds about right. Sounds about right.
And I'm like, you couldn't find me. You need to look down. You need to look down. So, I mean, then after that, I like, well, heck with it, you know. It's going to be hard to get any more midgets out here. I said, so just put me up against anybody. And the promoter's like, I'm going to. He goes, that was a great match. And he called it the David and Goliath match. So.
And Mexx is still waiting for those phone calls like this. I mean. Dane, I'm here.
Like, I'm checking my phone to make sure it works. I say, I know I paid my phone bill. It's got to work.
Wow, that was good.
Awesome. Finding that picture was actually perfect for that one. This timing is everything, as we know in this business. So I mean, so you did a lot of the Goliath matches and everything.
Yeah.
Now, when you did matches with other midgets, were they always the comedy style, or did they actually were legit matches?
Well, with the indies, I was doing comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And like I was telling them before, you know how wrestlers have rituals or things that they traditionally do? Well, I always got my hair cut, trimmed up and all. So I went to this one barber shop that I know there in Kansas City, Kansas, and he was kind of busy. He's like, it's going to be a minute, Mexx. I'm like, no problem. So I sat down, and I'm looking. I see all these magazines on his table, and I picked just this certain one out, and I'm looking at it, and then I flip the page, and I see 2 midgets in a ring, both bloody, crimson mask on both of them, got a chain wrapped around one of their necks. The other one's got a cowbell and it, getting hit in the head with it. And I'm like, good God. Now I look at the captions underneath. It says, check out our website, bloodymidgets.com. I'm like, this is sick. I got to check this out. So I get on their website, and I see they had a message board, and I message them. I say, hey, if you need new talent, if you're in the tri-state area, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Iowa, just give me a shout, And I'm waiting and waiting and waiting, and I get a message back on there like, no, man, right now my roster's full. But I'll keep you in mind. I'll keep your info. All right. And at the time, I was a forklift operator in Kansas City, Kansas. And I was working for this trucking company, loading and unloading trucks. And didn't kind of butted heads with the supervisor. And, I was getting ill at him. And my temper is shorter than I am. And, they had to hold me back from him at one point in time, and I got suspended from work. And I was like, man, I don't know what I'm going to do now. I got, all this and that. My first wife, I'm on the computer, and my first wife's like, this guy, Mr. Richardson's on the phone for you, babe. I'm like, who? And she goes, can I ask who it is again? He goes, Puppet? The Psycho Dwarf? I'm like, oh, yeah, give it to me. So I was like, hello, sir, how are you? And I'm like, hey, brother, how you doing? So we talked for a little bit, and he's like, well, I'll be honest with you. I ain't going to be able to pay you very much. I'm like, oh, crap, here we go again. Hot dog, a bag of chips, and a Coke.
No popcorn, though.
No popcorn, no. And he's like, I won't be able to pay you as much, like I said. He goes, I want to be able to pay you. And he gave me the number. I'm like, oh. All right. But yet, I'm in my house. I'm like, and my wife's like, what the hell's wrong with you? You know? Do you need your meds? And I told him, I was like, yeah, I'll work. He goes, all right, brother. He goes, we're going to work in Conesville, Iowa. I said, all right. I said, well, let me know the airport and all this thing. He goes, no. He goes, listen, I'll buy your plane ticket, round trip. I'll put you in a hotel, and I'll get you 3 meals, your breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'll take care of all that. I'm like,
a whole hell of a lot better than popcorn, I tell you that.
I'm like, I don't have to eat hot dogs, do I? Or popcorn, and a pop. He goes, no. He goes, no. He goes, we'll go out to eat. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I meet up with him, and we do the show. I'm like, well, we got to put the ring up. He goes, what? Like, when are we putting the ring up? He goes, it's already up. What? He goes, brother. He goes, you're in a different league now. He goes, you're not indies. He goes, you don't have to do that no more. I'm like, oh my God. Freaking me out. And tells, we go out there, we do our thing, get back, and he's, oh my God. I'm like, everything okay? He goes, I'll tell you this right now, brother. He goes, I was going to hang it up in professional wrestling. He goes, but the way you work and the passion that you have for it, he goes, I don't have a contract. This is my contract. He goes, shake my hand and I'll make you famous more than what you already are. And all I ask from you is you don't wrestle for another midget organization. I'm like, deal. So shook hands, and oh my God. And after that, I was still working my regular shoot job, and I think something happened to where they terminated me because of my attitude. And I told them, I was like, yeah, you guys might still be here. I said, but guarantee it, within 5 years, I'm going to be known. If I have to die trying, I'm going to do it. They're like, yeah, right. I said, you're still going to be behind that desk, kissing ass and pushing that pencil on paper. I won't. And got laid off. 2 days go by. I'm like, man, I got to do something. Pring. Hey, Mexx. Yeah, Puppet. Hey, wanting to know if you'd be interested in doing a week show. I said, what do you mean a week show? He goes, during the week. I'm like, dude, thank you. I said, man, somebody's watching out for me because I said, I just got fired. He goes, you're kidding. I'm like, no. He goes, so I can work it full time? I'm like, sure. I shouldn't have said that. Out of 30 days, I was off for like 10. I was like, oh my God. I was living out of a gear bag in hotels left and right. I had a stack of hotel car keys to get into the hotel. I gave them to my kids. I'm like, here, go play, And I mean, oh my gosh, it was like that. I think I worked for Puppet for like 10 years. And we got nailed by the LPA, the Little People of America. And they're like, you can't use the word midget. It's what we are. And they're like, can't use it. That's like using the N word. I'm like, oh, hell no. And
yeah, but you should have just said, hey, we're calling ourselves this. They're allowed to do that, so there you go.
I'm like, hey, you don't want to call yourself a midget, you're not getting paid for it. I'm a midget, I'm getting paid for it. You can call me a brown midget, or I say, heck, dude, I'm a beaner midget, so I got double whammy.
I shouldn't laugh at this. I'm going to go to hell, but...
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, dude, I've been called everything except a human.
Right.
And I mean...
that's a sad fact about this business just in general. You're called almost everything but that. I mean...
Yeah, well, that's like... I did a show for Kamala Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Mexx, what are you? I'm a midget. He goes, no. Are you a face or a heel? I'm like, dude, I'm a midget. Are you a face or a heel? I'm a freaking midget.
Heel it is.
He's like, are you? I said, dude, they're not going to care if I'm a heel or face. They just want to see two little guys go out there and beat the tar out of each other. He goes, all right. And we go out there and just beat the tar out of each other, and we had a blast. And they loved it. They loved it. So,
Dude, man.
And that's the thing, when you weren't working in the actual organizations that were, just all midget wrestlers in it,
yeah,
you were basically booked as a comedy on regular indie shows.
In the indies, in the independents, I did some comedy. I was known as the Mad Chihuahua, and I would bite people on the ass, and the independence dudes are like, dude, you gotta do me a favor. I'm like, what? Like, you gotta bite him on the ass. You got to. I'm like, really? I was like, dude, I wrestle. Yeah, but you can bite him on the ass too. I'm like, okay, that's what you want, man. I'll do it. And the crowd just, I didn't think about it, but the crowd loved it. And the first indie show I did here in Kentucky, the promoter's like, okay, you're going to be a heel. I'm like, okay. He goes, what's wrong? You never worked heel? I'm like, no, sir. He goes, you know what you do as a baby face? I'm like, yes, sir. He goes, do the total opposite. I'm like, oh, okay. So the guy, he goes out, and the promoter's like, okay, I'm going to manage you. I said, all right. He goes, here, hit this guy with this chair. Okay. He goes, I'll tell you when we go out. I was like, all right. Okay, let's go. So he's slapping hands, He goes, hit him. Wham! I hit him in the back of the head. He goes down the crowd. Yeah! I'm like, I'm the bad guy. They're like, do it again, hit him again. I'm like, wham, yeah, again. I'm like, wham, wham, wham. Starts to beat the tar out of him, And the promoter's like, do the biggest heel spot. Take his mask. Yeah. Boom, I hit him. He goes down. Take his mask. And hold it up above my head. The crowd just stands up and, yeah! I'm like, you guys are sick. and the promoter's like, I thought you said you didn't know how to do heel. Dude, they were cheering me. I was the heel. Good job. I'm like, okay, whatever. Whatever.
My God.
So, I mean, I'm like, it's the only time that, a bad guy got, the recognition that, he's a heck of a worker, And but when I took that mask and they just came, all of them, everybody came out of their chairs and were cheering me on, I'm like, I can't be a heel. No way. No way. And the promoter like, hey, you did a great job. He goes, but no, you can't do heel. Like, I try to tell you that, But I mean, I've done, with the other midgets so, since I've been in the business for so long, they call me the vet, the veteran and all, and I'm like, all right. And then they seen how I worked and all, and they're like, well, dude, you're a hardcore icon. I'm like, dude, I'm just a midget. I ain't no hardcore icon or anything. And I worked Little Cato.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you and Puppet, you guys are the godfathers of the hardcore. He goes, me and Bobby, we'll do our thing. You guys stick with the hardcore. He goes, because the crowd loves it. Now, I told Cato, I'm like, and here I'm rooming with Cato, and we're sitting there after the show. We're at our hotel, and we're having a couple of beers, and I tell him, I said, I just want to let you know how much this means to me. He goes, what do you mean? And mind you, those are real staples in that. And I told Cato, I'm like, I remember when you first came out in the AWA as the Karate Kid, and you had that mullet. He goes, oh yeah. I go, dude, what do you think I got mine still? Why do you think I got my haircut like that? And he's like, oh, dude, I ain't nobody. I'm like, you are to me. And down the road, we did a tour with this one band, and we did a show. It was called November of No Surrender. And it was we were booked the whole month of November. Every single day. And I know it was in Louisiana, New Orleans, I believe it was. And I climbed up. I had even the fans help me get up on top of the door frame of this one place. And I did a moonsault. And I landed and I heard something go crack. I'm like, oh, that ain't good. And I tried to stand up and I fell right back down. And they're like, what happened? I'm like, I think I broke my ankle. And they had this one bodyguard named Little Eddie. Little Eddie was 7'4", 575 pounds. This dude, I think his ring finger was a size 18.
Hey.
And he was like, what's wrong? I said, I can't get up. So he just grabs me, tosses me up in the air, catches me on his shoulder. My butt, not my belly or anything, my ass sat on his shoulder. Hey, he goes, get away. Cleared everybody out of the way, got me up in the dressing room. They got the doctor to check my foot out. As soon as they took my wrap off, it swelled up. Yeah, it broke.
Oh, man.
I was like, damn. And this was like the third show of November that I did. And I had that happen to me. And the next show was the next day. And Puppet calls our dresser, our hotel room. Let me talk to Mexx. He goes, he's in the shower. He goes, what's he in the shower for? Goes, dude, he's getting ready for tonight. He goes, oh, hell no. He goes, he's in the shower, right? Yeah. Bring his gear bag to me. He is not going to wrestle tonight. I get dressed, I'm looking for my bag. Where the fuck's my bag? I don't know. So we get to the venue, and I'm like, Puppet, what? I said, dude, I don't know where my bag is at. I know. You got it? He goes, where's that? Back at the hotel. Dude, I'm supposed to wrestle tonight. He goes, you can't even walk. How in the hell do you expect to wrestle? I'm like, man, I'll do it. He goes, you do Mike. You do the commentating. I'm like, oh, fuck that shit. I ain't no damn commentator. I don't have the voice for it. He goes, oh, man, you'll be all right. I'm like, oh. So I did it. I like, got done. I like, put the mic down and said, I will never do that ever again. He goes, what do you plan on doing then? I said, I'm going to wrestle. He goes, you got a broken foot, a broken ankle. I'm like, I'll do it. So, next venue, we get there at the hotel. I call the venue, and they're like, yeah. I said, yeah, this is one of the midget wrestlers, Mad Mexx. They're like, yeah. I said, do me a favor. I'm needing 2 bags of ice and a bucket in the dressing room. Okay. I said, can you do that for me? Yeah. I said, all right. So I get my bag back, go to the venue. I immediately start getting dressed. I leave where my ankle's at untouched. I take the sock and shoe off it. I see the bucket of ice. I grab one bag and take it off. Take the other bag, pour it in the bucket. I sit my bare foot in the ice. I grab that bag. I put it over my foot. I'm sitting there. Puppet's like, you're not wrestling. First match got done. Puppet's like, you and me. He goes, you're not wrestling. I'm like, dude, I'm getting my boot on. No way, no way. So I ended up wrestling the rest of the tour on a broken ankle.
God, man.
And Puppet's like, at the end of the show, at the last show we did, Puppet's like, let me tell you motherfuckers something. He goes, this man right here, point at me, has a broken foot, and he's done this whole tour for you all. And everybody's, hey, and I'm like, thanks, They're like, and then, we go in the back, I get dressed and all, I'm limping out, they're like, people are, like, thank you, and I'm like, dude, let me buy you a beer. Oh, free beer, cool, all right. I got so shit-faced, bro. Everybody in that bar was wanting to buy me a beer. Even the women. I mean, I think they had to get a dolly and roll me out of to the vehicle.
I don't know which I'd rather see more, those matches that you went through or you being rolled out on the dolly.
Oh, man. I mean, I rode a dolly quite a few times, man. I'll tell you. And me and Puppet, oh, my God.
But Puppet being in charge and everything and whatnot, you got to give credit where credit is due, that he was looking out for you more than any promoter we've ever seen out there. So,
I mean, it got to the point where me and him, we didn't see eye to eye on certain things, and I told you, I'm done. Yeah, I ain't letting go of you, boy. He goes, you're not quitting on me. He goes, I gotta have you. So we went and did a show in Hollywood, Florida. And Puppet's like, okay, we'll just do this, and at this part I'm going to color. I'm like, you want me to color? You want to color? Yeah. I said, stop and think about it, Pup. If you get color, the crowd's going to go crazy over it. If I color, then we're going to get more of a response because both of us are coloring. Well, if you feel like it, I'm like, yeah. So he goes, okay, you let me do it to you. I'm like, he goes, I'll do just like I was taught. Don't worry about it. I said, all right. So we did. He gigs me. We're both bleeding. And Puppet's like, don't wash it off. He goes, I want to put those pictures and put them on the website. All right. So he asked his wife for the camera. Mind you, his wife was, at that time, she was from Guam. Very, very, very bad English. And Puppet's like, you need to take pictures of Mexx for our website. Oh, Daddy, I left camera at hotel room. My bad. Ha ha ha. And he goes, leave it on. We'll go back to the hotel and do it. Okay. So he left the blood on him. I left the blood on me. We went out drinking with the people out there. Both of us shit-faced. They put us on dollies and put us in the vehicles. And we passed out. He's in the front passenger seat. I'm right behind him. We're both bloody as all get out. You know, just bloody as hell. And his wife was wanting something to eat real quick. So she stops at 7-Eleven at 3 o'clock in the morning.
I see where this one's going too.
What happens and what's there at 3 o'clock in the morning? Popos. So me and Puppet are blood all over our faces. Cop walks out. He's shining the light at, both Puppet and me. Both bloody as hell. And Rosie, she goes and puts the stuff on the counter and she sees it. She's the cop. She's like, oh, shit. So she pays her the shit. She goes out. Officer, it's okay. They're good friends. They do it to each other. The cop goes, what the hell are you talking about? They did to each other. They wrestled. They used beer and they hit each other in the head with beer bottles. And there was a cop car, an ambulance, a fire truck, and another cop car there behind our vehicle. And we didn't know anything about this until the next day when we got up and went to the next place. And Rosie's, his wife is telling us about it. And I'm like, what, when? And last night. You passed out in the back. I'm like, I passed out in the back? Yeah. You drink too much. I'm like, oh my God. So that happened. And I mean, it's just crazy. Some of the stories that we got, it's just insane, man. I mean, what I've done in the 30 years, even doctors tell me they can't believe that I'm able to walk. That I'm able to function the way I do.
Yeah.
Wow. Shoot. So
hell, you're able to walk on a broken fucking ankle, so foot. I mean, so.
Yeah, which is impressive in itself. So, obviously, you've toured with Puppet and you've toured with others. But what would you say was your greatest feud or storyline that you've been involved with? And also, who was your favorite wrestler to work inside the ring?
Oh my God. Well, we did a storyline in Missouri.
Hey now.
And this guy was my arch rival. And he kept on, and I get closer and closer to beating him. And this went on for like almost a year. He would end up cheating or getting the win some way, somehow. Well, I'm out there. He grabs me and DDTs me on a log chain. And I go, next show, and I cut a promo. I got the bag on, I got a bag on my shoulder. I'm like, they're commentator like, well, so what's your goal tonight? I said, the match is in the bag. Okay. Mind you, my mom is there.
Uh-oh.
I said, the match is in the bag. I said, you know what? When you signed that contract to wrestle me tonight, you didn't read the fine print, did you? I go, what are you talking about? I said, the fine print states, any match I want, the match is in the bag. So I put the bag down, I open it up, I pull out the dog chain. I said, we're doing a dog collar match. And he's like, no. My mom's like, oh, no. And we're going at it. He bleeds, I bleed. Crowd's into it. And he wins. My mom's pissed. She's in the front row. Well,
Trying to get after him, apparently, I'm guessing.
yeah. And there's a cruiserweight championship that's vacant and don't have no holder on it. And me and Brad, no, he did not win. They disqualified both of us because we wouldn't stop. And we ended up both hitting the ref and knocking him out, and we kept on beating on each other. So they finally got us apart, and the promoters, the owner was a woman, and she told us, look, I just noticed everybody in there is a cruiserweight. I'm issuing in that very ring right now a cruiserweight battle royal. Whoever is the last one gets the belt. So me and Brad just start beating the tar out of everybody, throwing people out left and right. It got down to me and my arch rival. And he grabs me, throws me. I'm in the ropes. He's like, and he runs. I get untangled. I grab the rope and I pull it down. He goes flying out. So I get the belt. Well, these guys are yelling. Two of the other wrestlers come back out. Look, you're a midget. You're not a cruiserweight. And starts talking smack. And he goes, well, since it's official that you got that belt, you better polish up that belt. And you better take pictures with that belt. I'm like, don't say it. Don't say it. And you're going to take those pictures and give them to your mama. Mom's in the front row. Boop! She pops up, starts cussing him upside one side and down the other in Spanish. Security had to run over to hold her back because she was trying to get over the barricade.
I felt bad for security right now.
Oh, man.
Oh, and the promoter's like, your mom got free tickets anytime she wants to be here, and it's front row. He goes, just let me know so I can double the security. And, I mean, we ended up, they had me, beating the tar out of me with the belt, and I'm there, and I'm on my knees, and I'm bleeding. And both this tag team were brothers, and they were called the Dirty White Boys.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm there, and they got me across, and I'm bleeding. And my arch rival comes back in, and he grabs a chair, and he's measuring off on me. He brings it back, and wham, wham, hits both of them. He picks me up, grabs the belt, and puts it over my shoulder. He raises my arm. So my mom's like, okay, you're good, but I don't like those two, And, oh my gosh. And the guy got hurt, so we ended up going to the hospital to see how he was. And my mom was with us. And my mom's like, it's over? I said, yeah, Mom, it's over. We no need what's in my purse? I said, what do you mean? What you got in your purse? She had a brick in her purse. She said, no one hurt my baby. I'm like, Mom, I'm okay. Oh, sure, I got these. I'm like, oh, God. So it was just insane for her to, the things that she would do. I mean, she hated me wrestling. She could not stand to see me get picked up and slammed by guys, bigger than me. But she was my biggest fan. Nobody could touch my mom. Nobody could even come close to my mom because when I was out there, my mom was moving. I mean, she was just like my grandma. My grandma, she would have her cane and she people get near, whack, she hit them. She would knock them silly. And my grandmother, oh my God, my grandmother was like 4'4", and good God, man, she scared me.
Yeah.
She scared the tar out of me, man. But that was one of my best storylines. And then my favorite wrestler would have to be Little Nasty Boy. And me and him together got, I think, almost 70 years in the business.
Oh, wow.
Together. And we just beat the living hell out of each other. And it was so funny because the promoter comes up and says, look, they screwed up on the first match. You guys are going to have to make your match longer. We're like, okay. So work on it. Like, all right. So I'm texting my wife. Nasty Boy's calling his wife. Promoter looks at it. He goes, what are you guys doing? I said, I'm texting my wife. Nasty Boy's, I'm calling my wife. He goes, I told you guys to work on your match. We looked at each other and go, we will. He goes, when? When we get in that ring. And I think our match was like 45 minutes long. And he picked me up one night. I think it was in California. He picked me up and slammed me. He goes, you trust me? Slam me. I'm like, yeah. It's all right. Don't move. So I'm laying there. And he grabs a trash can lid and sits it on my pelvis.
Oh, Lord.
I'm like, okay, he's probably going to do a flying headbutt or an elbow drop on my groin or something. He goes out of the ring, and all I hear is, oh, no. He pulls out a sledgehammer.
Oh, no.
I'm laying there. He got his feet standing right by my head. He looks down at me, and he kisses the head of the sledgehammer. He goes, I love you, brother. Boom! Right in the groin.
Oh, God.
I know I screamed. I know dogs and cats were howling.
Oh.
And we get done with the match. We go in the back. The promoter comes back and goes, you two are some sick individuals. Goes, don't ever do that again. I'm like, man, you said to make the crowd pop. That's what we did. He goes, I grabbed my groin after you hit. He goes, that's how bad it hurt. He goes, it scared me. He goes, and I wasn't even in the ring. So, but yeah, me and Nasty Boy, first time me and him worked each other was in Washington, and he's probably about 4'8.5", but at that time he was weighing about 165.
Ooh.
He was a monster, and he's seen me. He's seen how that worked. I've seen the way he worked, and we're like, oh my God, this guy's going to kill me. He was thinking the same thing. So we go out there and we just go by feel. And we did our match. We go in the back. I go in the back in the dressing room. Pup's there. He's in tears. I'm like, you okay? He goes, what the hell was that? I said, what do you mean? He goes, all that shit that you guys did. I said, well, you told us to get a reaction out of him. He goes, I can't even do that shit. He goes, these are tears of joy. He goes, these ain't tears of, sadness. This is tears of joy. He goes, you guys did a beautiful match. He goes, it was beautiful. He goes, and I can't thank you enough, both of you. And ever since then, me and Nasty Boy are like that. I mean, the only thing me and him haven't done yet is probably wear each other's underwear.
I don't know. There's
So that's going to lead me to change the subject now and ask a question here. So out of all the midget wrestling promotions that you were a part of, what would you say has to be your favorite one to work with and why?
Oh, my God. I would have to say MWA, Midgets with Attitudes, or MAW, Midgets with Attitudes. No, MWA, Midgets with Attitudes.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
That promoter, he's a man of his word. I love that guy to death. Even though he's 10 years younger than I am, he watches out for us. You know, if he drinks a little bit too much, he's like, Mexx, you're the only other one that can reach. You're the only other one that could reach the pedals. So here's the keys. So, and I don't drink or smoke or do anything.
Why does it look like this group looks like a bad version of the driving movies that they have right now, Fast and the Furious?
Which one, me?
No, the whole group. It looks like from a really bad version of Fast and the Furious.
It's a little fast, a little furious.
No, seriously, the one with the hat, not the girl, but the other one, the one with the hat, looks like Vin Diesel a little bit.
Steve-O? Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, but that would be, the appeal of that picture alone is why I would want to watch that, definitely. So.
I not kid you. I had so much fun with that group. I love every single one of my brothers and my sisters. And, I mean, I have mad respect for them. And, like I said, the thing is, these guys are in their 20s. I'm 50. I'll be 56 in 7 days.
Oh, man.
And the last tour I did with them, I think I wrestled 210 matches. I wrestled 3 times at each show, which we had 70 shows. And I wrestled 3 times, and there were 20-minute matches. So I wrestled 210 matches at 21 hours in the ring.
Good man.
Just with them.
Yeah, that was just with them.
Well, you know what, Ruby? That's why I don't ever want to try to add up the hours alone in the rings that we've had and everything. And
Oh, heck no.
this would be like Father Time talking and everything on that one.
I mean, the last tour I was on, the promoter told me, he goes, Mexx, I need you for one last tour. You got one more tour left in you. I'm like, no, dude, I'm done. I'm retired. I'll give you such and such amount. I'm like, dude, how much? He goes, where do I meet? I go, where do I meet you? He goes, me in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. I said, all right. So I'm packing my gear bag.
Is that Kevin Hart?
That is not Kevin.
Sorry, I had to. Boy, it looks like Kevin Hart right next to him, though.
No, that's too tall.
Too tall.
Let me tell you, that guy is an incredible worker. He does things that it's just scary, dude. He gets on the top rope and does a moonsault with a twist in it.
Dang.
Which you never saw in the '90s or early 2000s with matches like that. I mean, with the midget matches or anything like that, you always just saw the comedy stuff for the most part until you started doing a lot of it with puppet and everything, though, too, and actually allowed them to actually wrestle and show that what they can do.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of the photos I had here. I'm sorry, but go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just wanted to throw
But
that up there.
I mean, we go out there and we just go to town. And I mean, there's times where I don't even know who I'm going up against. And everybody thinks wrestling's fixed. Oh, yeah, it's fake. No. Not whatsoever.
Not for the faint of heart, I'll tell you that.
No.
Yeah, definitely not.
And I mean, I normally come out, I'm drinking a beer. And then they go to frisk me and they find a shank on me. Under the bed. And they turn around and the ref's like, you can't have that. I said, it's not mine, it don't have my name on it. And, you know, it's about so long. And he's like, you know, you can't have that shank on that. That's no shank. Yeah, it is. No, no shank. You go, yes, it is. So I pull out on my other side. I got a 9-inch nail. And I got it taped up and everything. And it even has Mexx on it. I turn around and say, see? This is shank. I say, see? Got my name on it. It's got Mexx written on the side of it. I said, see, got my name on it. That one's mine. And I'm like, dude, you can't do that. I'm like, why not? You know? I mean, and they told me, they're like, okay, Mexx, your gimmick, you do midget wrestling and midget porn. I'm like, got a problem. They're like, what's wrong? I'm like, I don't speak Spanish. And they're like, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. I said, dude, I flunked Spanish in high school. And they're like, you're kidding. I'm like, no. So, I'm like, well, I could try. They're like, okay. And I'll say, I said, they'll say something to me, and they're like, well, what do you think of that? I said, oh, that's shit. Like, you said shit? You can't say that. I said shit. CHIT.
C-H-I-T.
And they'll just, keep on and on, and like, they'll two guys on, and they're like, and I like, Jutu, J-U, two, or T-U, like, man, you can't do that shit. I'm like, dude, what the heck are you wanting? Because I ain't gonna lie, I was incarcerated for a while. And I got back out, and the promoter, I was talking to a friend of mine, Jagger Lane, and he's like, yeah, the guys are coming out in Utah. I'm like, really? I said, dude, who is it, Harley? He goes, yeah. I said, give him my number. So he gives me his number, give me the number and all. And Harley calls me. He says, Mexx, you out? I'm like, yeah, I'm out. He's like, where you at so I can fly you out here? I'm like, God damn, man. So I get with him. And I think it was Dallas, Texas. Or Dallas, Fort Worth. Was the first show I went and did back when I got back with him. And I get out there. Start doing my thing. First match, Go in the back. Harley comes back. Where's Mad Mexx? I was like, what the hell are you talking about, man? I'm right here. He goes, no, man. He said, I'm talking the old school Mad Mexx. Crazy motherfucker that barks and bites the ropes. You know, and I'm like, oh, you want the old school Mad Mexx? He goes, yeah. I said, all right. Next match comes up. We're going at it. Grab a beer stein, crack it over my head, and got cut open and all. Match ends. We go in the back. Harley comes back. Mexx, you can't do that crazy shit. I'm like, dude, you wanted the old school Mexx. He goes, man, you can't be bleeding all over the place. I'm like, crowd liked it. I said, you wanted the old school Mexx. I gave it to you. He goes, nah, you can't do that crazy shit. I'm like, God damn. So, I'm like, man, make up your mind. What do you want? You know, you want old school Mexx or, you know. But, yeah, I mean, we did a biker show in South Carolina, I think it was.
Yeah.
In Myrtle Beach. That was it. Myrtle Beach. And I normally come out with a beer in one hand and a staple gun in the other. And I was there and I was drinking my beer and they called me. So I went out real quick. I forgot the staple gun. So we're going at it and I'm calling for my staple gun and I'm looking for it. I'm like, crap, where's it at? And the promoter's like, where's it at? I'm like, shit, I don't know. And he's like, and the guy I was working, Buddy the Bulldog. He's like, he's on the ropes, you know. He's like, what's going on? I said, dude, I forgot the freaking staple gun. He goes, what are we gonna do? I grabbed my beer bottle, hit the side of the pole. I hear, said, we're going old school, bro. I grabbed it and stuck it in his head and cut him. And he hit me in the groin. I dropped the piece. He comes back after me and he gets me down. He's like, I don't know how to do it. I'm like, grab it. Stuck it and stabbed myself in the head and ended up bleeding. So the crowd loved it. Well, a week later, my wife is at home with me and I'm scratching the scab off. Like, ow. I look, my finger got poked. I look and it's bleeding. I'm like, babe, check it out right here and all. She looks. Michael Anthony. I'm like, uh-oh. I was like, what? She goes, when's the last time you did beer bottles? About 2 weeks ago. No more. She had to pop it like a pimple. It shot out.
Oh.
She had to grab a pair of Nina Nose pliers and get in between my skull and in between my skull and the skin to get it out. And she pulled it out.
Ow.
Damn.
Shit.
And it was probably about maybe an inch and a half inch long. And I mean that's like the 12th piece or so. Nina's like, no more. Well, I was like, I ain't doing this no more. She goes, you're going to do it? You're going to end up dying with beer bottle glass in your head. I mean,
Dang.
and then I did a show in Topeka, Kansas, and I was working Cato. And I was getting ready to throw him into the pole outside. Well, he reversed me. My hair was long at the time, got in my eyes, couldn't judge it right.
Oh. Wow.
Popped a tooth out. I hit the ring pole with it. Like, ting! That wasn't spit.
Oh.
We go in the back. He goes, what's going on? I'm like, dude. He goes, what? So I reached in and I got the rest of it out. I got it. I grabbed it with a pair of pliers and he goes, what the hell? So I pulled the rest of it out.
Ow! This is why I manage.
But you know, I'm just glad my mom wasn't there at that one, because I wouldn't have heard the end of it.
No, you would not, man. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to show another photo here in just a moment. And I believe all of these guys, and I'm going to actually. There's some names here. That kind of brush my memory here. But I'm
Okay.
pretty sure that they're pretty much from the Half Pint Brawlers show.
Oh
That's
yeah,
yeah,
that's Kato, Beautiful Bobby, Puppet,
right.
Turtle, Tio, and me in the back.
Okay. Yeah, Turtle is the short guy in the front, right?
Yeah, he's the one that's on his knees in
Yeah.
front of me. Yeah,
Alright.
that's the rookie of the bunch.
Okay, gotcha. So,
Now, Beautiful Bobby and Kato,
yeah,
their father is Lord Littlebrook.
Hmm.
that's right. Yep. Yeah. I
We
see
both
Kato.
of us have had a chance to work many shows with them.
Yeah, yeah, we did. Yeah, and they were definitely a great act. It was a hard act to follow those guys because, and one of our old local referees that is no longer with us, no rest his soul, but he worked with those guys very well, and
They always wanted him as a ref. That was the beautiful thing with that.
The,
oh,
the
and
thing is, though, those two right there are the true icons, legends in wrestling. God rest Beautiful Bobby's soul. May he
yeah,
rest in peace. I love that man to death. I could be down in the dumps and he'd do something. I just laugh so hard I piss my pants.
I,
I love that guy to death. I miss him so much.
yeah,
And then
yeah.
in front is Puppet, and we just lost him. I think in October.
Yeah, I think it was last September he did, and then also, um, I think it was back in 2019. He actually, he was actually doing comedy,
Yeah.
and he was actually at a local pub that lived next to me, and I knew some guys that were actually at this pub, and I saw him, and got to talking with him a little bit, and actually helped him out to his car and everything, and just had a little chit chat.
No.
Yeah,
Actually,
yeah.
it was September 9th is when Puppet passed.
Yeah, yeah. So that was before the pandemic hit, and he yeah. So obviously he was having a little drink or two or 10 or whatever, but
I
yeah,
love Puppet to death, but man, he get that Jägermeister. If you hear the word Jägermeister, he's what? He could. I not kid you. That man could smell it, if they had it there.
like say the word treat to a dog.
Oh my God! I know we did a show at a frat house in Michigan,
Oh man.
and the dude that it was his birthday, the whole frat house bought him the midget show, and for his birthday present, they bought him a Jägermeister frosty machine.
Wow, how does that work?
So Puppet was his best friend for the rest of the night,
I bet.
and I mean he tied one on.
Wow. Wait a
I'm,
minute. Is it one of those machines where you take like the bottles, you dump them upside down? It's like
Yeah.
yeah, and
cold. And you
It's
just,
a cold.
yeah, like a
Oh.
slushy.
Oh wow.
I could picture Puppet actually laying underneath it, just like,
Pull the tap.
He loved that. He's like, "Do you drink?" No. He goes, "You're gonna learn." He goes, first time I worked with him, he goes, "Do you drink?" I'm like, "No, sir." He goes, "You're gonna learn tonight." I'm like, oh my God. 3 beers and I was gone. Now, I had to have at least 6 beers before I even get in the ring.
That's just the pre-match numbing me.
Yeah, that's the thing. They're like, "Why do you drink so much?" I'm like, "Oh, you see what I do? Come on. I get stapled in the groin. I get stapled in my tongue. I get a cheese grater across my forehead. I get a pool stick cracked across my back. It's broke. I get power bombed on a bed of barbed wire. I get FU'd by a midget in a bed of mouse traps. I'm like, this is a daily thing. This is a daily thing that I do almost every day for 30 years, and what kills me is that when I go out there, the crowd's booing me left and right, Oh, you're a piece of crap. Like, oh, that's that. Get done with the match, go change my clothes, we come back out. Dude, that was incredible. I love it, dude. I want to buy you a beer. Okay, free beer again. And I mean, like I said, it makes me feel good that, yeah, they hate me at the beginning, but at the end, they're wanting to buy me beers.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I'm doing something right. So I that's the thing they would always tell me. They're like, dude, you guys are totally different from everybody else. Everybody comes in, they do their thing, they get their money, and then, boom, they're gone. Like, you guys, you come in early, you autographs, pictures, before the show, do the matches, get done, you get back, get dressed, coming out with your regular clothes, and you stay and mingle with the crowd, the fans. I said, that's the reason why I do it. And they're like, man. And I mean, whew. I know for a fact, let me put it this way. When I first met my third wife, I told her, I'm a professional midget wrestler. She was, okay. I said, the best way for me to describe my lifestyle is not normal.
Right.
She goes, what do you mean? I said, the only way I could describe it to you is that it's on the borderline of psychotic and exotic. And I mean, my wife could have left me numerous number of times.
Oh yeah.
We did a show I think it was for LSU, and Trojan Condoms sponsored us.
Oh.
You know where I'm going with this, ain't you?
Yep, I do.
And the owner came out of Trojan Condoms, and we shook his hand. He's like, well, how many of you guys are there? There's 5. He told his apprentice, give me 5. So he takes off. He comes back. He gives us 1-gallon Ziploc bags full of condoms, each of us. I'm like, condoms? I'm Catholic. I don't believe in birth control. I don't need this shit. So I give them to one of my partners that pretty much hit anything that didn't have a sack on it. And he grabs them and he goes, and I get up and I go outside. Well, he goes and throws them in his bag. I get home. And my wife knows that when I get home, I want my gear immediately washed. Then I pack it, I put it in my gear bag, and I set it by the door just in case I get the call again for another organization or something. So she's like, you look wore out, babe. I said, I'm tired as hell, babe. She goes, well, go ahead, lay down on the couch. I'll wash your gear. Said, all right. So I'm laying there and I'm taking a nap. Mind you, my wife's an angel. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs. Doesn't even cuss. I'm laying there on the couch. I hear, what the F is this? I open my eyes. She's standing there with a Ziploc bag of condoms. Like, those ain't mine. She goes, they're in your bag. They were mine. Thought you said they weren't yours. I said, they were mine. I said, but I gave mine to such and such. So I get a call from him. He goes, hey, you Indian giver. I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? He goes, you took back those condoms. I'm like, no. You threw them in my bag. He goes, no. I tossed them where my bag was at. Wait a minute. You tossed them? He goes, yeah. Take a picture of your gear bag and let me see what it looks like. Yeah, his gear bag is the exact same thing as mine, and we were sitting side by side.
Did he smooth things over with her?
Yeah, hey, those are mine. He gave them to me. I went to throw them in my bag, and I did not know his bag was just like mine. And when I threw it, the bottom bag of condoms slid into his, and the other one went into my bag. I'm like, damn. Then we did a show in, I think it was Jackson, Mississippi, Jackson, Tennessee. And we're there. Well, Puppet likes valets to come out with us sometimes. Puppet's like, hey, you got any strip clubs around here? I'm like, yeah, just down the road. And he calls them. Yeah, I need 4 midget strippers. I need 4 women strippers out here. What do you need them for? He goes, I need them to walk out midgets for wrestling shows. Oh, okay. He gets 4 of them. Well, they come out, and they're like, go talk to those 2 guys. They'll tell you what to do. So this woman comes up to me, and she goes, I'm supposed to walk you out? I'm like, oh, okay. She goes, what am I supposed to do? I said, okay. I said, plain and simple. When I'm getting beat up by the guy, you give him thumbs down. But when I start beating him up, then you raise the roof on me, Okay, I think I could do it. So get done. Come back in the back dressing room. She's like, how'd I do? I said, babe, you did great. Did incredible. She goes, thank you. She goes, well, I guess I could change now? I was like, yeah. Well, she started taking her clothes off right then and there. Well, they're strippers. They're used to it. I turned away. I'm taking my gear off and all. She sets her brassiere on the back of her chair. She didn't tell me she was sitting right beside me. My gear bag was in between the chairs. I get up, zip it up, wake up, go to the hotel, sleep, wake up next morning, grab my bag, fly back home. My wife, give me your gear so I can wash it. I was like, all right, so I unzipped the bag. I'm pulling out my gear. I see something black. I said, that's all my gear. What the heck is this? My wife's like, I look at her and said, that's not mine. And she looks at me, she goes, I hope to God it's not. So I'm like, oh my God, man. Crazy shit.
And she pretty much figured out, though, that it's like stuff in your bag. Either boys are ribbing or just something happened. It's like
there are no ribs whatsoever. This actually happens. I can't make these.
I know that.
I mean, we cannot make these stories up. And I told her, I said,
why I change alone.
I told her, I said, that's why I told you. It's on the borderline of psychotic and exotic. Oh my God. Then we we did a show in Michigan, and same guy, he's talking on his phone. The battery dies. Hey Mexx, can I use your phone? I'm like, yeah, here, give it to him. Yeah. He comes back after 30 minutes. He goes, yeah, thanks, Mexx. Like, no problem, bro. Get done with the show, stay at the hotel, wake up, fly back home. I'm home. My wife's doing laundry. She's folding clothes. She goes, I messaged you. I gave you a voicemail. I said, oh, you did? She said, yeah. Checking my phone. This one woman calls me. Hey, Michael, this is so-and-so. I'm like, don't know this woman. Never heard her voice before. Never met this woman. Just letting you know that once you land, I've already got the reservations made. So when you get off the plane, I'm getting on you. I'm like, delete. So my wife said, hey babe, just calling to let you know I'm thinking of you. Have a good match. Be careful. Don't do anything too crazy. I don't want you in the hospital again. I love you. Delete. Put my phone down. My wife's phone closed. Don't drink. Don't smoke. Don't do any drugs. Don't cuss. She's phone closed. So, I said, yeah, babe. Who in the fuck is that bitch? I'm like, whoa. Like, I said, babe, I don't know. She called you Michael. I'm the only one that knows the calls. I'm the only one that calls you Michael. I'm like, babe, I don't know the woman. So this guy, a day later, calls me. Hey, Mexx, did so-and-so message you? I'm like, dude, what? I said, you got my ass in trouble. He goes, what? I told him the situation. He's laughing. I'm like, it ain't funny, Mom. I said, I had to sleep on the couch, dude. Last night, I had to sleep on the couch. Let me talk to your wife. So he gets her on the phone and goes, I used his phone. My phone battery died on me. I came over to him and asked him if I could use his phone. Didn't think she was going to call you back and leave a message like that. I do apologize. That's all on me. He had nothing to do with it. So my wife's sitting there. I said, see, I told you. She goes, if you're not cheating on me, you're missing a damn good opportunity, mister. So I'm like, here I'm trying to be, the good guy, straight, gentleman-like, I'm like, God, I don't even try and I get in trouble.
Right. Oh,
I'm like, damn.
The old saying it used to be, what goes on the road stays on the road. But good Lord, you brought so much of the road back with you without trying.
Exactly. I didn't. Good Lord. I'm sitting there. And then to top it off, my sister-in-law, she turned around. She goes, well, at least he's using protection. I'm like, you're not helping. You're not helping at all.
Oh, my God. Yeah,
and
I
then,
know.
good God, man. I got hit so many times in the head that I ended up with cataracts. And I'm trying to, my eyes are having, I'm having problems with them. And, I'm okay. I'm okay. So I go to the bathroom, and I'm looking like, why in the hell they got all toilets in here? So I'm standing there, pissing in one. Next thing I know, I hear, excuse me, sir. You're in the woman's bathroom. I'm like, ah, oh, crap, not again. So I get out, and I tell Puppet. Puppet's like, God damn it, Mexx. How many beers have you had? I said, just one. Just one, dude. He goes, no, Mexx. He goes, For you to go in a woman's bathroom and all, I'm like, dude, I can't see right, you know. He goes, you're not John Cena, god damn it. He goes, go get checked out. That's when I found out I had cataracts.
Oh man. Shoot. My God. Man, well, a lot of fun times, man, and then of course also like I said, there's drama that's brought on that of course is unexpected.
Right.
Yeah. But just out of curiosity, was there any wrestler or promoter that you've done work for that upset you so bad to the point that you wouldn't recommend doing business with?
Uh,
You ever had a bad experience?
he was in Mississippi. I can't remember his name because it was just drama there. I mean, he wanted me to do a show for him. All right. He had to borrow a promoter's license.
There's a good sign right there.
Had to rent a ring.
Yep.
He tried to rent a PA system because he didn't have one.
Oh Lord.
He ended up getting guys from 5 different states.
Wow.
And
So he had a high payroll as is with trans and everything. Effectively.
I'm like, is the crowbar in the back of the trunk? They're like, yeah, why? I said, just in case.
Oh man.
And believe it or not, he got me my Mississippi wrestling license, and he paid me. Matter of fact, he gave me my deposit up front a month before. So he gave me, I was like, hey, he's legit. He gave me the money, gave me the cash, so I gotta do my part.
Wow.
So I went with them, and he's like, you got any guys that want to work? I'm like, bro, I got like a whole roster here in Kentucky. So I said, their organization called World Wrestling Alliance. And I said, I can talk to him. So I brought 15 guys with me to the show, and I think over half of them got to work. So, I mean, it was a heck of a... I mean, he had an arena like one of the arenas in St. Louis.
Like the family arena?
Yeah.
The small, okay.
And only like 200 people showed up.
Oh.
He had a backer of some kind that wasn't happy afterwards. I can guarantee it.
But I got to give him credit. He paid me, and plus he gave me transportation money and hotel. So, I mean, and then he wanted me to work for him again, and I'm like, at the time, I was working half pint brawlers, extreme midget wrestling, micro championship wrestling, midgets with attitudes, and all this and that. And I told him, I got to check my booking, see what I got going on. And he turned around and told me, look, I keep this shit real. You keep on telling me this, that, and the other. If you don't want to come, you just say so. Don't waste my time. And I was,
Lord, yeah, okay.
I'm like, don't waste your time. I said, look, I'm not dogging anybody, but what kind of promoter has to borrow another promoter's wrestling license or promotion license, then has to borrow a wrestling ring, and then turn around and have to get wrestlers from 5 different states and no PA system? I said, you know what? Lose my number. Don't worry. Don't call me, because I sure ain't going to call you.
Wow.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
There's always one in the crowd. It's a wannabe promoter.
Somebody that talks a good game, can find a money backer, but won't do all the grunt work that's supposed to be done as a promoter and everything, and
Well, see,
it pisses off the money backer.
what gets me is that people wanting, I want to book you. I want to book you. I said, okay. Don't bust my bank. Don't break my bank. All right, bro. I'm like, I'm not going to break your bank because if you're going to have that kind of an attitude, I'm not working for you. Well, man, I need you. I'm like, okay, then let's talk business. I said, I ain't planning on, I'm no Hulk Hogan. I'm not Steve Austin. I'm Mad Mexx, the immigration sensation. I'll tell you my fee. If you don't like it, then we could try to work something out. And they're like, oh, okay. And, I end up working for them, and next thing I know, they're calling me on the horn. Mexx, great show, brother. Love to have you back. I'll give you your money up front. Okay. I don't like burning bridges with anybody. That ain't what I'm here in the business for. I was told by the man that trained me, you need to look out for backstabbers, two-faced, con artists, and stealers. He goes, and all those are in one category. Promoters. He goes, believe me, I know because I'm a promoter and I used to be a con artist. He goes, and I won't do that to you. That's the reason why I'm letting you know about it. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Like he told me, he goes, if you're here to make money, fine. You're here to make friends, fine. But if you're here to make money and friends, it ain't gonna happen.
Yep. Yeah. I've had my experiences with that too, and I'm just kind of curious since we kind of get things out in the open. I mean, once again, for those who are watching, our featured guest this evening, Mad Mexx, of course, featured from the Halftime Brawlers, was a reality show that aired maybe 10 plus years
2010.
ago.
2010.
2010, yep. And now, as far as before GQ gets to his question or whatever, but I got some more. So, when did you officially retire from the business?
Ooh. Well,
Like,
I
what
want
was your
to.
absolute last match?
It was back in 2018,
Okay.
So relatively recently.
and that was in for WWA. It was in Evansville, Indiana, at the Veteran Coliseum in
I'm itching.
Evansville, Indiana. At the biggest battle royal.
Right.
And I mean, I was like, oh my gosh. Like I said, I mean, it takes me 30 minutes just to get all my gear on.
Right.
Because I got to rub myself down with muscle cream. Then I start putting on my wraps. Then I put on my braces. I mean, you remember that little boy in Little Giants? When he comes out all in that bubble wrap into the football field.
Yeah.
That's the way I felt every time I get out there. I'll show you intimidation. Just stick straight out there, But, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just crazy, I mean, like I said, I told them, I'm done. They're like, oh, man, you're not done. I'm like, yeah, I'm done, dude. I can't do it no more. because I was like in my mid 50s, and I'm doing hardcore, 20-minute match, and the guy I'm working, Little Mario, he's like in his late 20s or 26 or so, and he was my roommate as well, and he turned around and goes, Mexx, yeah. He goes, can I talk to you, bro? I said, yeah, bro, anything. And what's up? Just want to let you know I've got respect for you. I said, well, man, I appreciate it. I got mad respect for you, bro. He goes, no, 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 you don't understand, brother. I'm like, okay, talk. He goes, you're 50-some years old. I'm like, yeah, don't remind me. And he goes, okay. He goes, you got kids older than me. I'm like, yeah. He goes, you are with me move for move. He goes, I'm wrestling guys in their late 20s, and they can't keep up with me, but you do. He goes, I don't see how you do it, especially, wrestling 3 matches a night, and you just pow, 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 up and going, up and going, up and going. I'm like, I said, it's what I do, bro. It's my passion. He goes, I just want to let you know I got mad respect for you. And that means a lot to me.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess in 2018, I wanted to kind of, because you mentioned 2018, you mentioned Evansville, Indiana, and I was kind of wanting.
Oh, why do I have a funny feeling? I think I know who he worked for.
Yeah.
WWA?
So here's the thing.
Hold on.
Chris and Ray Waddell?
Yeah, Chris and Ray Waddell.
Wow, I didn't even know those names too.
Yep.
Well, see, my son, one of my boys, he was 12 years old, and he got with them. And I've been training this kid since he was 6 years old, doing backflips and everything. And he came home one night. He's like, just want to let you know, Dad, I'm getting into wrestling. I'm like, oh, really? He goes, yeah, I got these guys working, training me. What's their names? It was Chris and Ray Waddell. Okay. Second question, who trained them? They trained themselves. Every wrestler does that. If they train themselves, they automatically red flag.
Right.
Well, my son's like, look, you've always told me, don't judge a book by the cover. Always give people the benefit of the doubt. I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, why don't you do it with them? I said, you know what, son? You're going to make me eat my words. So, yeah, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I said, what do you want me to do? He goes, well, we got a show Saturday. I said, okay. What time? He goes, 3 o'clock. I said, all right. He goes, get there about 11. I said, why so early? He goes, just be there. I said, all right. So Saturday came. Me and my wife, we go down the street, down to their backyard. To their backyard. I see the ring. Looks decent. I meet all the guys, shake their hands and all. And I go, well, give us some pointers. I'm like, well, do good. I don't know you guys, so, just balls to the wall, Don't hold back. Make these people remember. Make me remember these guys. All right. So around noon, I start seeing people pulling up in their cars, getting out, popping their trunk, and getting their lawn chairs out and coolers and sitting their chair out ringside, sitting the cooler right by them, and they're waiting. I'm walking around, I'm like, what the hell? By 3 o'clock, they had over 100 people there in their backyard.
That's
First
crazy.
match goes on. Decent match. Each match got better. Main event, incredible, phenomenal. They come after the show's over, everybody goes home. All the wrestlers come over to me and are like, can we pick your brain? I'm like, okay. I said, what you need? And they're like, what did you think? And I look at them and I smile. I'm like, you guys ain't backyarders. And they all put their heads down. Damn, we're not even good enough to call backyarders. I got a shit-eating grin on my face. Like, you're better than that. And they all got all big-eyed. They're like, really? I'm like, yeah. I said, it's just a shame that you guys ain't legit and making money out of this. I said, it's incredible. So you guys are very talented. And they're like, well, what do we need to do? I said, let me make a call and see what I can do. So I called the commission in the Boxing and Wrestling Athletic Commission of Kentucky. And I told them, look, these guys are wanting to get legit. Can you send them out papers? He goes, yeah. So they send them out. They go, they do it and all. And they were still doing shows in their backyard every Saturday. Every single Saturday. And July came. And they did a Independence Day show, which was, in my eyes, a WrestleMania show. And I went in the back and I talked to them all, gave them a pep talk, and my wife was out there helping people park their cars. My wife lost count after 250 cars.
Damn.
People were parking 4 to 5 blocks away from the backyard. And it was just an incredible night. And after the show was over, everybody on the roster, including me, were crying. And I told them, I said, this was your night. And every one of you brought your A game, and it was your time to shine. Do not ever forget this. I said, remember where you came from. And they all was hugging each other, crying, hugging each other, giving me high five. Well, I had to jump for the high fives, but, I mean, and I told them, I said, it's time for you guys to get legit. So they are the first ever group out of the state of Kentucky that the Boxing and Wrestling Athletic Commission took to court. This group, because they were doing backyard shows illegally. They went to court.
Yeah, because they want their money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
we all went to Missouri. We know how that works.
Yeah.
Off, so.
And they're like, okay, we're going to grant you your wrestling promotion license. Like, all right. But we're going to suspend it for 6 months because you guys were doing illegal shows. The group even went to the city council meetings. Went to them and talked to them about it. And they're like, well, how much money you guys making out of this? We ain't making a penny. What do you mean you ain't making no money out of it? No. Well, how much are you charging admission? None. What about concessions? People bring their own drinks and snacks. Well, how do they, get to enjoy the show then? They bring their lawn chairs out of the trunk of their car, and they sit there and watch the show. You don't charge them nothing? No. Well, how much do the wrestlers make? Don't make a dime. They do it for free because they love the sport of wrestling. So you're only allowed 5 minutes to talk to the commission, the council.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Chris Waddell talked to them for 30 minutes.
Dang.
They turned around, they looked at each other, and they're like, what can we say? You're not doing anything wrong. Continue on. So we kept on doing it. Even the cops would pull over on the side of the street and watch them. And they had so many calls, the cops got so many calls about us doing shows out there in the backyard. The guy that called was their neighbor, and he's like, I hate calling on these guys because they do such a great job on these shows entertaining people. He goes, I hate calling on them. He goes, but I need to get in my driveway, and their first show was, I think, December the 10th of 2010, I believe it was. And maximum capacity was 300 at the Armory. They lost count after 525 people.
Dang.
The wrestlers in the back in the dressing rooms were grabbing their chairs, giving them to the fans so they can enjoy the show.
Yeah.
And luckily, we had the fire marshal there that was a big wrestling fan. And we opened the big Armory garage door. And he goes, look, you got too many people in here.
Right.
He goes, but since you got that garage door open, a lot of them get out all at one time. So let this just be a warning. Only 300 people are allowed in here. All right? He goes, all right. He goes, guys, have a good show. So, I mean, they got to have a gift or something because, like I said, the show starts at 7 o'clock in the evening. There is over 100 people standing in line at the Armory at 10 o'clock in the freaking morning on Saturday.
Jeez.
And like I said, I'm just glad that they're actually legit and they're doing great. They were just doing the Central City, Kentucky's National Guard Armory, but now they're doing Central City, Madisonville, Eddyville, Owensboro, and now they're doing Indiana, Evansville, Indiana. And from what I'm understanding, Ray and a couple of the other guys are going to West Virginia to wrestle and all. So they're doing great. I'm proud of them. Thing is, I met Ray when I think he was like 13 years old. I did a street show for a group out of Madisonville that came and did a show here in Central City at a festival, I think it was. And Ray came and talked to me. Me and him talked. He goes, yeah, me and my brother got a ring. If you want to check it out, that'd be pretty cool. And I'm like, oh, really? Like, yeah. So little did I know, later on I was going to get in a ring with Ray. With my first match was with the backyard group, the WWA, was with Ray. And I mean, he's like, well, what can I say, and all this and that. I mean, back then, backyard wrestling, you could say anything or do anything you want, and back years ago, nobody would say anything. They wouldn't take offense to it or say, "Oh, well, that's racist," or "You're discriminating," and all. And he's like, "What do you want me to say?" I said, "Well, call me an SOB." He goes, "A son of a bitch." I said, "No, son of a beaner." And he's like, "No, I can't do that." I was like, "Dude, I'm telling you to." Like, So, and then, not kid you, after that show me and him did, we just became family. And, I mean, the group was getting ready to do their first show, and they were kind of getting, like, burned out. So I turned around, I'm like, we got to get a fire underneath them. And my wife's like, well, what are you going to do? I said, get them gear bags. What do you mean? I said, well, look, wrestling, look for a duffel bag, pretty good size. Find out, get their logo, get everybody's name, and I'm going to have them made, and that will be their gear bag. So I ended up buying the whole roster their own duffel bag with the WWA logo, and they're wrestling him on the top.
Wow.
That's nice, man.
And I mean, like I said, that's the way I am. I'm so passionate that I want other wrestlers to be as passionate as I am about the business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly.
So, out of your whole time that you were involved in the business and everything, what would you consider your greatest achievement or best moment?
Ooh.
And not getting yelled at by your wife. That's a good achievement on its own, though. So,
it would have to be me finishing out the tour with a broken ankle, and everybody cheering for me. I mean, I had them all pounding on the ring, yelling my name, Mad Mexx, Mad Mexx, Mad Mexx. And, it got me. I teared up because, that just proved to me that there's people that actually appreciate what I do for them in entertainment, And I know there was one time, I wrestled for WWA, and I haven't been there for like six or 7 months, and I had to wrestle. I was coming in, and I snuck in. I hid. I went under the radar, so to speak, and I got there way ahead of time. I parked my car in the back where no one could see it, and my wife hid, and I hid in the back, and this one guy came out with his manager, and he's like, nobody here can beat my man. He's a machine. None of you people, despicable English people, none of you here can take on my man. And with this British accent and all, and he's like, no man alive will accept this challenge. And they brought in this guy named the Great Mephisto, and he the announcer's like, hey, we got this one guy that I think he can beat you. He's from Mexico, and everybody starts, oh, oh. They started chanting, Mad Mexx, Mad Mexx. Well, this guy comes out. He got the sombrero on. He's got a piano underneath his arm. He's got a poncho on. And he's coming out like cucaracha. And he comes out, and they're like, ah. And he gets in the ring. He goes, hey. He goes, no, no, no. Me not your opponent. He's like, Senor, mi amigo. He's your opponent. And then my theme song come on, and the crowd went ape shit. And there were people even saying that it would be like if Stone Cold was there. And that, to me, them saying that meant a hell of a lot to me. And I go out, get in the ring. They chanted Mad Mexx for 5 minutes straight.
Man.
And I cried, because I mean the whole crowd stood up and started clapping and everything, and they're chanting my name, and oh my gosh, it was so emotional.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Well, listen, man, I know you mentioned a lot, with the WWA and how they build from the small and how if they put the work in, and even getting outside of their comfort zone by going into other states,
Right.
Indiana, and then also like Evansville, with some other promotions, trying to. Oh, wait a minute, what is this? Hey, this is what I wanted to ask you about. I'm just kind of curious because this is a
Oh Lord.
promotion. Yeah, we're breaking fourth law here. Um, this is from May of 2018 for a promotion that I was part of and invested in, and also booking on this, and yeah, and somehow some of our talent didn't show up. I just want to make sure that everything was good, man, because I was like, man, you know, uh, it's I was excited to hear you, and I mean, we can even talk about this, but I can tell you who else didn't show up, but like let's see, how many people didn't show? Let's see, one, two, three, four. No, I think just three. No, actually, no, both Mini J. I don't even know of a Mini J. Do you know of a Mini J?
Yeah, I've worked him like 3 or 4 times already.
Oh, okay, okay. So I knew him, and I was kind of bummed when the midget match was called off. I'm like, oh man. And of course, I didn't get any real answer on that, but we don't have to bring it out here.
Man, I got calls that people are like, Mexx, why didn't you show up? I'm like, when? Like, dude, we had you booked. I'm like, don't remember. And I got, let me check my tour, my schedule. So I get my desktop calendar, and I'm flipping through it, and it's got nothing but writing all over it. And they're like, what the hell's all that you got on there? I said, those are bookings, dude, that I've got. Like,
Yeah.
good God. And I try to, do it right and everything and be legit and be a businessman about it. But like
Yeah.
I told my wife, I said, do you know how many promoters I got on my cell phone right now?
Right?
I said, I got over 50 promoters that I know of on my cell phone.
Yeah.
And then I got over 200 wrestlers. And 100 of them are midget wrestlers, if not more.
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
So Ruby, I have a question though. Ruby, is the person that said that they were booked, was it the bottom left person?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was thinking while you were going. We were getting at on this one.
Yeah, the name, if you're all to know, is Eric Marks, and no, he's not a human chihuahua either. It's actually Eric Marks. That's actually him clean in the bottom left hand corner.
yeah.
So is he the one that said they were booked and then they not there, or what?
Well, let's just say that.
Okay, yeah, okay, enough said.
Things happen, or whatever excuse I'm given because.
Oh, I remember this one. Yeah.
Here we go.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah.
I was incarcerated.
Oh. Okay.
That was the reason why I couldn't make that show.
Okay. We rewind now. Let's start over again. I'm going to bring it up now.
I guess my partner didn't want to pay bail, so.
He needed to save it for himself.
I was like, when you said Eric Marks, I'm like, hey, he was the one that was booking me. And then I was thinking about it, and I'm like, oh, okay. Now I remember. That's when I was incarcerated again. But
oh
yeah.
My gosh. Oh man. Well, I guess I guess we'll have to let it slide. So.
Really?
I'm gonna say I hope that was good enough reason.
If not, Ruby, I'll pay him to come up to your place with a staple gun to staple your mouth shut.
Shoot. Yeah. Well,
normally we ask, like, the last question is usually asking about road stories. You've told more than enough on this show tonight.
Oh, dude.
And it's
I'm gonna tell one that will get you in trouble with your wife, but other than
Oh.
Even those alone is like, I know we've all had something similar or something or whatever. And it's just, or, the bad promoter stories or ribs on the road or going to strip clubs. And, there's a lot that happens on that one.
Mm-hmm.
So,
wow,
definitely.
Yeah. But I mean, enough stories. I mean, just with everything in the back, and with, I mean, a lot of good stuff, man.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm writing a book on the experience on the wrestling world within the 30 years that I was in it.
Yeah.
And because I was talking to my therapist about it, and he's like, yeah. He goes, have you ever thought about writing a book? I'm like, what? He goes, yeah. He goes, I know, all these other professional wrestlers have done it. He goes, but I don't know of any midget wrestler that has done it yet. So I'm like,
right.
I said, but it'd be the size of an encyclopedia. I'll tell you that right now. I said, because I said, this, I can't, so many stories, I can go on for years. Not, if not a decade. I mean, because, oh my gosh, it's just crazy,
No, and that's the best thing when you think about it. Yeah, making money is one thing, but just the stories and the experience is the best thing about being in this business.
I mean, heck, there was one time I remember we're on the road. It was Puppet and his wife and me, and we're flying down the highway trying to make our venue.
Oh man!
Woo! State trooper.
There.
Yep. State trooper.
Yep.
And like I said, his wife, very, very honest. Very honest. Pulls over. State trooper, he goes, you know why I pulled you over? She goes, no, he goes, you know how fast you were going? She goes, yeah, I go 92. Ha ha ha. Puppet grabs his head. Oh God, we're going to jail. We're going to jail. And the cop's like, "What are you guys going? Why are you going so fast?" And we're trying to make the venue. What are you going? And we told him. He goes, "What for? We're midget wrestlers." Really? So Puppet, the guy goes, "Well, I don't want you guys to be late because I'm a wrestling fan." He goes, "But you guys just be careful, right? Just keep it under 92, keep it under 92. And Rosie's like, "Okay, officer." She looks at us. She goes, "I'll go 91. Like, oh, God. I'm like, oh, my God.
And the funny thing is, she was probably serious, too.
Yeah. So, for him letting us go, Puppet gives him a Got Midget shirt, So, I mean, being a midget and doing that reality show did have its advantages. I'm pulling out at Walmart. My window's really dirty in the back. I back up. Don't. Like, crap. What the heck was that? Like I said, my wife don't cuss. Fuck, babe. It's a cop. No. It's a cop car. I'm like, no. So I go back to my parking space. I put in park. I get out of the car. I said, "Babe, get me the info for the vehicle and all." So he gives it to me. And I'm sitting there waiting for the cop. He goes, "Good day, sir." I said, "Hey. License and registration. Proof of insurance." He goes, "You, so-and-so?" I'm like, "No, that's my father-in-law. This is his car." He said, "Oh. Sir, do you know that the insurance has been expired since May?" I'm like, "No. I hit a cop car. I don't have insurance. I'm going down." So I'm sitting there, and I'm waiting. I'm like, man, he's just gonna tell me, put the cuffs on. So I'm sitting there waiting. Well, here comes his superior officer. And I'm like, oh great, now second cop. Now I'm definitely going to jail. Definitely going to jail. Cop looks at me, he looks at the cop that's, there checking me out, and he goes, "What's the call?" He goes, "What's the caller?" He goes, "It's not his car, it's his father-in-law's car. It don't have insurance. He bumped in my car, backed into it." And all. I'm like, I'm getting ready to turn around. He goes, "You were on Spike TV, weren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "A half-size brawlers at pint size." "Yeah. Half pint brawlers. Yeah, that's it. He goes, "Man, that was a great show." He goes, "That was a great show." I'm like, "Oh, thank you, sir." So the officer that's dealing with me, he's standing there and he's like, and the officer, his superior officer's like, "You can do what you want on this. Are you guys going to do a second season?" I'm like, "I'm not sure." I said, "Hopefully we will." He goes, "Man, that was a great show, dude." And the cop's sitting there looking at me and looking at his superior officer. He's like, "Just be careful." I'm like, "Yes, sir." Boy, I beelined it home. And my son's like, "Hey, Dad, I need to use the car." I'm like, "No, this car is not moving out of that driveway." You know, "What?" I said, "I just hit a cop car." "And you got away with it?" I said, "Shut up." Shut up. He's
Oh
like,
man.
I was like, wow. I
Shit,
mean,
man. Holy crap. Wow.
we
Yeah,
do some,
well,
we get into some crazy situations, and
yeah.
we come
Well,
out smelling like roses.
right. I know,
And
right?
when you go to all these small ass towns, the fact that if you get pulled over, it's a 50-50 chance that the cop is a fan of wrestling. You're heading to a show. Make sure you have photos on the seat next to you so you can show them, and there you go.
Dude, I ended up going to court on child support. I'm in front of this judge who used to be a Missouri athletic commissioner. Now he's a
Who,
judge.
who was it?
Marcourt
Okay.
out of St. Joseph, Missouri.
Mhm.
And I'm in there and I'm standing there and he's like, so you got a job now? I said, yeah, I've got a job. He goes, what do you do? I said, I work for MWA. MWA. Midgets with attitudes. Say it's a midget wrestling organization. He goes, really? He goes, you know I used to be a Missouri athletic commissioner? I'm like, oh really? He goes, yeah. So we start talking. The DA's like, Your Honor. Oh yeah, yeah. You're paying child support, right? I said, yes, Your Honor. All right, you're good to go. Boom, I'm out the door. So I mean, like I said, it has its advantages.
Wow, man. Yeah, that it does. Probably not so much with us since we only do independent shows here and there in different states. But maybe around town. I don't know. But
Well,
yeah, I
hell, one
know.
of our own promoters is now a state commissioner in the area, and it's like he'll
Oh,
start to sit back there. Well, he jokes with him, hands me the form to fill out for the if you're pregnant or not. It's like I signed his name and said, "Screw you."
he gave him he non-pregnant waiver for him to sign.
Kiss my ass.
Damn.
Oh, I guess he had extra paper to waste, so who knows? Or find a way to fill time. But oh my god, dude. Well, yeah, what an incredible ride, man. I definitely thank you for coming on here and man,
Thank
just
you guys for having me, man. It was a blast.
yeah,
And I have a personal question, and this is not going to cause 20 stories or anything. How does one go about getting your autograph?
Oh man, just send me your address and matter of fact, I'm supposed to be getting, even though I'm retired.
There's conventions, you know that.
No, I've been trying to retire since the year 2000. And the promoters keep on calling me, Mexx, we gotta have you. No, dude, I'm done. Then they tell me, I'm like, where do I meet you? They're like, oh, okay, well, and I'm like, God. And then I got to hear it from my wife. You're retired. You're retired. I was like, babe.
shoot, man.
She's
Well,
like, yeah, we need the money.
yeah, or
I
even
tell
do
her.
extensions.
She's like, you did this. You're retired. I'm like, you paying my child support? No, I don't want to hear it.
Right. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I mean,
I'll pass my information over to Ruby to pass over to you.
If you guys want, get on my Facebook. Mike Santoyo Senior. Captions Mad Mexx. And or Mike Mexx.
Yeah, I think that might be easier to try to find on there than anything.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, see, I had a Mad Mexx profile
Mm-hmm.
on Facebook, and apparently they said they started being where you had to be a real person. I'm like, what the hell do you think I am? I am real, you know. And they're like, no, that ain't a real. That can't be your name.
I just actually sent you a friend request just now. Easily I found it. I don't know how, but okay.
But
Yeah,
some of the shit that I do, you know, is crazy. Cause like I said, you know, they had me as a midget wrestler, and I didn't speak English. Well, Puppet turned around and tells me, he goes, I'm going to add a little bit to you. I said, all right. He goes, they announced me. They're like, and coming from south of the border, he does his two favorite things in life, midget wrestling and midget porn. I'm like, oh my God.
There's so many jokes I'm not even going to try.
So then they like, he came out in a new movie, adult film, called A Little Goes a Long Way.
Oh my God, that's classic.
And then they'll do that, or else they'll like, oh, and coming out in this new movie, Who's Your Midget?
Come on, we need to quit talking about people's shortcomings.
I mean, and it's so funny because the promoter will tell me, he's like, he'll be announcing it, and all the girls are like, you know, they're like, we Googled, we couldn't find it. I'm like, oh my God. And then my mom hears about it.
Oh no.
Miguel. Yeah, Mom. Vení acá. Tells me to sit across the table from her. I'm like, yeah, Mom. She goes, I heard things. What are you, a taxi driver or what? I was like, what? You know, what you mean? She goes, I heard things. I was like, what? Get a dice, you do corn. I said, Mom, you know I love corn. No. No corn. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh my God.
So, mind you, my mom was in her 90s before she passed. My mom was 90. She's telling me, you know, I heard things, Miguel. You know, do porn.
I love corn.
I love corn, Mom. She said, no, not corn. Porn. And I'm like, huh? She goes, Alice. She's going like that. I'm like, oh, porn. She goes, sí, you know porn, huh? I'm like, oh my God. So I had to explain it to my mom. So.
Oh Jesus, my face. Oh, that's too much.
Well, Ruby, your face has always killed me to begin with, so.
Oh yeah.
I know we can go on forever, but you've actually broke our record, I think.
Oh, close to it, but it's still.
How much longer?
Oh, I don't know, but
I thought it was like 303. I think we already beat it.
Man,
this was great. Is from all the experiences and everything, this is probably one of our best story-filled shows that we've had.
Oh yeah, definitely a lot of good stories, a lot of good experiences.
And it's funny all the people. It's funny all the similar people we knew too. So
I know it's great. Yeah.
So he was saying Showtime. She's like, oh, it's changed something.
Yeah. Oh my God! Yeah, you were right about the 380 and the 375 and all that. Yeah.
Oh my God, dude! I mean, I didn't know who they were, and as soon as I opened up that curtain, I seen them. I was like, I'm dead.
Yeah,
I didn't know that you knew Tojo Jr.
Oh yeah, matter of fact, I won world tag belts with him from Renegade Pro Wrestling.
Wow, okay. Me and Ruby at one time got good shit from him. So it's like, hey, we did good.
Yeah.
I'm only just a manager. We had this long program, and it just we ended up in a match, and he beat me. The fans got to pay money to go into the ring and strap me. That was probably one of the best paydays I had ever. So,
but your ass was black and blue for 3 weeks. So,
oh god, my chest feels you on that, bro.
Oh man, yeah, I know.
Your whole body feels that because I know you've done the straps and everything, and chains and whatnot.
Oh my god, yeah, I know.
But we really need to wrap it up, though. I know that.
Yeah, I know.
Before I gotta have camera difficulties again and run to the bathroom again. So.
Yeah, I got you. Well, next, don't be a stranger, man. I mean, God, it's good to definitely talk with you and definitely taking your time out.
Oh, no problem, bro. No problem. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Others will catch the replay who decided to fade off, but they're gonna they go back and watch this last hour. They'll probably make sure they're not at work for it. But but good stuff, man. I appreciate you very much, man.
Not a problem, bro. Brothers, thank you so much. God bless. You guys keep on doing what you're doing.
Yep. And next week, guys, for those who are still watching, and we'll continue, and I'll put out a video later this week on our shows coming up in July. But I know that next week we're having the return of one of our big name feature guests, which is going to be an ECW original. Bill Alfonso will be here next week with me.
You got to come in now.
And so that'll be some good stuff, and hopefully we can get some inside scoop on ECW days that really nothing's really been that published. So we want to try to dig into the dirt if we can from Mr. Alfonso. So for Mr. GQ and our featured guest, the one and only from Half Pint Brawlers, Mad Mexx, I am Rough Cut Rick Ruby, and we are. That's right, man. Guys, and we will see you next week. Have a great 4th of July. Celebrate it. Be safe. Stay with me. Celebrate with family and friends. And we want to see you here next week, guys. Adios. And we'll see you next time.